I want to read a little poem. This is a really old book. My mother gave it to me years ago. And this is probably during the time, early part of the century, this book. And I imagine by reading much of the poems in this book that this was probably written by a woman who was a suffragette. One who was for women's rights. Because her thinking is far beyond the thinking of most women in that day. So this is her little poem about Vashti. Ahasuerus made a royal feast. His subjects came from west and east. In fact, they came from far and near to drink his health and their hearts to cheer. Persia and Media in gala dress, delighted in their happiness as they viewed the palace of their king, praises of his court delighted to sing. Freely flowed the royal wine from golden vessels unique and fine. They drank and feasted at their leisure, feasted and drank for their pleasure. When the heart of the king was merry with wine, he imbibed too freely the fruit of the vine. Bring forth the queen, cried Ahasuerus bold, that her wonderful beauty all may behold. But Vashti hid her beautiful face and modestly stepped forth. Actually, she didn't step forth. She stayed forth with regal grace. Forever she will reign a queen. A lovelier sovereign has never been seen. This was a woman's opinion in the early part of the century. You look at some of the movies about Esther and you read some of the books, and Vashti's the big evil queen. And actually, I think she's a really hurt and broken person. And for whatever reason, she took a big risk not parading in front of the king. She wasn't going to do the catwalk anymore. I'm done. I'm done. What did she want? Where was she going with that? I'll throw that question out to you. What would be her reason? He had a lot of concubines. Jealousy could have been one of them, right? Just right there. Gosh, I may be the queen, but I'm not that special person to him. Was it her choice to be his wife? She knew that if she did that, she'd have a lot of influence over the dignitaries' wives. So it was a bold move on her part. She was making a statement. How long are we going to do this, ladies? You know, where we're under the control of this worldly power. Our sexuality is about being an object. Do they even really know how we feel or what we think? Isn't that what the suffragettes really came forth with? We want to be able to vote. We want to have a voice. She used her voice. You know, and it was divine for her to do so, because in doing that, she was removed and another voice could come in. So we have to honor her. I do anyway. And she got what she wanted. I don't think she wanted to be with the king anymore. If you didn't want to be with a guy, you might risk your own life. He could have killed her. I mean, that's Esther's fear. I think she knew that. That's how tired she was of the situation. I'm tired of this. I don't care if I do die. Are you girls getting tired of this? All you people, you know? I mean, so she's saying something here, and I think we can appreciate that. I used to be frustrated because I think it was a basic youth conferences. Remember those? They put Vashti on boy, they beat her up. The unsubmissive wife. Well, yeah, in this point, she was not yielding. She didn't obey, but I don't know if it was from a heart of vindictiveness or if it was just from this place of I don't want to be the victim anymore, I'm tired, and even if it kills me.
What I hear is that he was sexualizing her as an object, and she said no.
That's right. And she took the risk. And she was no longer queen. Now we come to the advisors. Okay, she upset the apple cart when she decided that she was going to do this, because she's got all these royal, dignified women that are going, well, if she could do that, maybe we could do that too. Maybe we can get out of our things that we're really tired of. And boy, the man got really worried and upset. And damage control. and they're all wasted. Think about the advice that this king is getting from a bunch of drunks. But they are really afraid. But what are they afraid of? Truth. I mean, were the women going to come and take over the whole place? What were they afraid of? It was kind of an interesting, maybe it was the control and the power, and that they wouldn't have it their way anymore. They didn't get to
Right.
have
And
it their way.
if you went even to Paul, the apostle, he said women are never to tell a man what to do. So it's the continuation of this law established in Mordecai's, in Xerxes' reign, that women are no longer to be master in the house at all. The master controls every decision made.
They were so upset about it that they weren't thinking about the king and whether he would maybe miss her later on. They weren't thinking about marriage. Let's hold a marriage together. Let's build it up. No, it's like, we got to get rid of her. So what's the scripture say about the spirit that divides a marriage? That nothing's supposed to divide a marriage, even if it was a funky marriage. And it was strange. So we've got these guys, and we've got Memucan. Sounds like a fiber product. Memucan. He was the one that came up with the idea, okay? And he's, because the king was like, oh, isn't there a law about this? She's not supposed to do that. There's something we can come up with. We got to get even, and that's that spirit of spite, that spirit of you did to me, I'm going to come back and do something back to you. And they're thinking, and they can't come up with a law because there is no law, okay? But they make up one. And they just are going to make sure she never comes back to the court. I kind of wonder what her reaction was. She's probably happy about it. A royal edict. We're going to see a lot of edicts in here. There's a lot of royal edicts being sent to be irrevocable. That she is never to appear before the king again. And he's like, yeah, let's do that. Yeah, we'll find a better gal, blah, blah, blah. Well, he's drunk. So he wakes up in chapter 2, and he's missing her. It's like, where's my beauty queen? Because actually maybe she was a little bit more than an object. He actually might have had a little bit of a relationship going there. And once he got out of his power trip, he began to miss this woman. And I can just imagine he's probably moping around the palace. I miss Vashti. Where is she? No, I don't want any other ones. I want Vashti. And he's moping around. He's having some bad withdrawals. And damage control comes again. Oh my gosh, he's having a bad day. We got to do something. So here comes your damage control. Okay, we'll give him a new addiction. Let's give him a new addiction. We'll get him another good girl who's just going to, get his heart pumping again. And I don't know, have you ever broken up with someone? Does introducing someone else into the picture solve the problem, really? No, because if you're not done with that person, they're still in the back of your head. And the wisdom, the wise men around him weren't very wise. It makes me laugh because it has so much to do with control. So, of course, they come up with this idea, let's just get all these virgins, just gather them all up, and you pick a new queen. Okay, we really have to think about this. He agrees to it because he's probably desperate. And he knows he already signed a law and his ego cannot revoke that law. He's just got himself in a pickle. And God's divine, right? It's like, good. Now we're going to do something here. It was so funny, Heidi. She's loving it.